What's up everybody, I'm Abatage and welcome back to Godus 2.0, and we need to have a little discussion, I feel, because, well, it's been a little while between this episode and the last one for me. A little while meaning about a day since I recorded it, and that's why we've got all this lovely leaf to collect. I've also played a little bit more, so we're going to fill in a little on that, but then I've also done a little bit of research that I want to discuss, because I think it's important for this version. So let's just collect up all this lovely belief. You can see we've got 20,000 down the bottom there, which is good, and that's because of all the work I've done. You can see here I've cleared out this little bit of land, I've leveled it off so that we can expand up this way. And I've built... where is it? There it is. I built another one of these here. Probably not the best place for it because it only affects these houses. But I thought I'll put a settlement in around there anyway, so we'll deal with that when we get to it. But I didn't want to do that without, like, off camera. Like, we've reached the 475 population mark. So let's grab that card right now. Settlement upgrade, plus 25 radius. I thought we already had that one. Ooh, and an abode upgrade. Abode construction, plus 1 builder. Okay. Let's have a little quick look at that. Oh! Oh! And we got that. Oh! Anything else? Oh my god! I don't know why all this is pouring in. God Seed Trees power upgrade. We haven't even got that power yet. Wow. Okay, well let's roll along. I thought we were only going to get one card, so that's a little bit of a surprise. But anyway, we've got this follower upgrade here. Cool. We've got this settlement one that we're working on to increase the radius. Yeah, I reckon it must have just told us about that again, because I could have sworn that we didn't have that. So this one will take grain. This one will... maybe it's just time, shrine, larger boat. I guess we have to do more of the Voyager one. Voyage of Discovery. Double click, yes, we already uncovered that. Settlement upgrade. Abode. Power. Sculpt 5 layers. How many of... oh, that's going to take loads of those stickers. Okay, well, we'll apply that when we get to it. And this will upgrade our God Seed. Wow. Next card for more people. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we get cards fairly on down the line, depending on what we could do. So if we get more people, we'll get this card, which is way down at this end, Iron Age. If we get ore, which is obviously mining, then we'll get down this end. But then if we come back and we do grain, we'll get this one. Okay. So we need to work on farming so that we can get our grain up. So that's interesting. So we've got those to work on. That's all well and good. Let's grab this expansion as well, because they managed to get there. Nice. Again, not as much of a expansion as I would have expected. So we've got one over here, got one up here. Is there one over this way? Ooh, that looks like one there. Can we dig that out? Quite possibly. But while we dig this out, I was having trouble in the last few episodes. You might have heard me gripe about things and have a bit of a whinge, really. Because I was getting very frustrated with the way the game was playing and how long it was taking to do things and all that sort of stuff. But before I go on, I want to preface the fact that whenever I play these games, if you're not used to my channel or the way I approach things, I prefer to approach games with the kind of, I call it the dumbass mentality. As in, if I was a person who just bought this game, you know, just picked it up and went, oh, look at that, that's cool, and I wasn't necessarily very familiar with gaming or the internet or anything like that, there was another chest around here that I found that I hadn't uncovered, so let's grab that now. But I always approach it from the dumbass the dumbass perspective, as in, all those games, like, there's a lot of those survival games like Rust and DayZ and all those, where you kind of, to get the most out of the game, you need to look up wikis and that sort of thing. And I fundamentally disagree with that as being okay as part of game design. As we talk about this, I'm going to go and unlock these chests because why not? But I don't like the idea that if I buy a game, the only way I'm going to enjoy it to the fullest is by looking up wikis and, you know, looking on forums and that sort of thing. Because I think that's just flawed game design. If you can't experience it in the game just naturally, without having to work for it, then it's not, you know, that's a failure in the game as far as I'm concerned. So anyway, this game, because it's early access, I can kind of forgive that as far as, you know, you're not going to have a full-blown tutorial in an early access game necessarily. So that's fine. We don't need that. I would like to be able to sculpt this bit though. But yeah, so that's where I'm coming from when I look at games like this, and when I think about how much I like them or how much I'm enjoying it or that sort of thing. So when I say to you that I actually went and did some research, you can hopefully understand that it was under duress. As in, I would never keen on going out and doing research just to be able to play a game better. But if I'm getting very frustrated with the game mechanic or something I think I should be able to do, but I can't find out how to do it within the game, I'll go look it up, because that's what I do. And especially with an early access, I think it's fair call to say, if it's not in the game, then fine, maybe there is something that isn't explained properly. And I think it's fair enough that, okay, you might have to do a little work to figure it out. Because early access is early access, it's beta, they're still working on it, maybe they just haven't got around to putting that bit of information into the game yet. So, you know, that's cool. However, I was getting frustrated to no end with this game because I'm used to 1.3, as you would know, and there are a lot of things that they've changed between 1.3 and 2.0, which changed the game quite a bit, as in how you play it and that sort of thing. And I am kind of going to rant a bit through this episode, so I apologise for that. But that's why I thought I'd collect cards and stuff while we're doing it, or stickers, I guess. But the main thing that I wanted to look up were a lot of little things, like that graphical glitch that we were getting where, you know, you'd get that checkerboard kind of effect all over the screen. And I found out that, yes, they're aware of that it's a bug that's currently aware. And if you turn on disable buffers, apparently that's the workaround for now. So I've turned it on, because cool, no worries. It's early access. I'm down for a workaround in an early access. Shit happens, it's all good. Not so good when it's a fully released game and you have to start using workarounds and that sort of thing, which if you've watched my other videos, you might have heard me complain about that in the past with some particular games, but we're not going to go into that right now. But the main thing is that, okay, that bug is cool, we can hopefully figure it out, and that's fine. And that workaround will get rid of it. The other thing that I wanted to look up was moving the camera, and being able to rotate the camera, which I looked up, and yes, there's other people on the forums who are saying, hang on a second, why can I not rotate the camera? And it's clearly not a feature that is part of the game. It's not like I've forgotten how to do it or haven't figured out how to do it, it's just not in it anymore. And I think rightfully so, it kind of annoys some people because this game, most of the time you spend sculpting, so it's kind of a sculpting game, if you will. And that's cool. I'm totally down with that because I think that appeals to people. It appeals to me for sure because I enjoy that sort of slow, kind of enjoyable, move things around, make a little bit of difference here and there, and, you know, take your time and just have fun. And yeah, it doesn't have to be action to appeal to me. I'm all for something slow and easy and just nice and soft and enjoyable in that respect. So I'm totally cool with that. But I do think that because this is a three-dimensional game and it requires 3D sculpting, and there are big mountains like this, where you often cannot see what's behind them, like here. and I thought I saw a flash of something then, but I'm not sure because I can't really see. You need that functionality to be able to rotate the camera around. See, there's a tree there that I didn't even know existed. There's layers here that I have no idea how deep they go because I can't see. And in fact, when I was sculpting out this bit here, that's why I've kind of destroyed the edge of this mountain, is because I can't see behind it, and so I've just been kind of deleting it completely because of that. But let's clear out some of this stuff so they can get up there. But so that is something that I think really should be in here. Maybe there's a reason for it. Perhaps it was causing issues with one thing or another, and that's why they took it out. But I really, really hope that they put it back in very, very quickly, because at this stage it is super annoying that we can't rotate the camera. And I know it may sound like a small thing, but it is. It does actually affect my enjoyment of the game. And now that I've played it for a few months... no. Now that I've played it for a few hours and actually kind of sunk my teeth into the early game of 2.0, I can confidently say that yes, that does affect my enjoyment of the game. Because it's just... I feel like I don't have as much control or as many options over what I'm doing. And I don't feel like I can sculpt as effectively as I have been able to in the past, or as effectively as I'd like to. So it does. It diminishes the experience. So there's that. The other thing is that I was beginning to get a feeling of just how redesigned the game is at this point. And it turns out that I'm not the only one. And there's a lot of people who have posted on forums and you know, around the place, saying that they really feel like between 1.3 and this version, the game's lost a lot of things in order to gain what it has gained, which is the main thing I wanted to talk about here. So first of all, I'm just going to pop this dude out so they can go up there. You there. Person. You will go up there too. Oh, come on, you can get up these steps. Don't be retarded. Oh, no. You idiots. But yeah, one of the things that has been mentioned before, and I think is a known kind of problem with the game that the devs are going to work on, is the AI pathing, like the pathing of the followers, because it is a bit balked at the moment. And a lot of it has to do with being broken in the Voyage of Discovery thing. And if you remember, I think maybe last episode or one before, there was a point where they were just kind of going around in circles and not really doing anything and not finding the path to the monument that they were trying to get to. And that was due to a bug. So fair enough, it's due to a bug. Cool, they'll fix it. Nice. Moving on. Good on you. But there's things like that which just kind of have lessened the experience for me. And I'm going to talk about sculpting again, because I know that a lot of people don't like the sculpting and that they don't like all the work you have to put in and how long it takes and all that kind of thing. And I don't really agree with that assessment, because yes, this game does require a lot of sculpting, but it is a large part of the game is shaping the land and doing all that kind of thing. And I can understand why people don't like that. That's fine. I'm totally down for difference of opinion and all that stuff. But I think because sculpting is such a large part of the game, and it's not a part that I dislike, like I'm quite happy sculpting, but because that is such a large part of the game, that's a lot of what people's feedback was in regards to, was that they obviously have listened to and tried to rectify, was the feedback that there was too much clicking, all that kind of thing. And so they've put in this system where you can just click and drag a lot easier and all that kind of stuff, which I think is great. It's great that they're making an effort, but I also think that there's a difference between needing to do something due to feedback or taking feedback with a grain of salt and sticking to your main vision. Because I feel like they've kind of lost their way a little with the way they've changed everything in this update. As in, the sculpting system is not necessarily any less clicking. so far. It is, I mean, yeah, granted, let's be honest, it is definitely less clicking because you can drag longer and all that kind of thing. But as far as the time needed and all that kind of thing, it's not that much of an improvement. Oh, and there's a card under there which I couldn't see because I haven't been able to rotate my camera. And at this present moment in time, I can't get it down low enough either because I don't have the diggy power. But that's exactly part of what I was talking about with the camera. If I could have rotated the camera, I would have known that there's something underneath there before I even started filling in that amount of land. Nevertheless, though, what was I talking about? That's right, the changes to sculpting and that sort of thing. So basically, because you end up sculpting a lot, it is something that I think is, you know, needs to be tweaked and refined, and I'm glad that they're trying new things and trying to make it better and all that kind of thing. But I ultimately think that the 2.0 changes have taken them backwards a step instead of forward, like obviously they would hope. And, you know, I'm not trying to be a niggly bastard, it's just I tend to play games like this a lot in one sitting. Like, I'll play for hours just because. That's how I go, and I like games that let me do that too, so that's why I tend to do that. So I'll play for a good few hours at a time. And when it comes to parts like this, say, let's look at this bit of the mountain. If I wanted to start digging back here, I've got to do a whole lot of clicking. Like, this is no different to originally, to the 1.3 version. I'm just clicking and clicking and clicking and doing a little bit at a time. Or I can come up here and take my time a little more, do it very slowly and precisely, and I can get that drag going on, but it's still not heaps at a time. So you can see how particular and slowly I have to do this, and how much it's letting me drag at a time. So that in itself is an improvement, because I can drag a lot more than I could previously. And that's a lot smoother, and granted, it's a lot easier and all that kind of thing. But as far as the amount of time it takes, it's actually not that different to if I was just clicking this like so, and just kind of mashing my way through it and using all the clicks. So I end up doing this a lot more because it seems to work a lot more efficiently, or I feel like I'm getting a lot more done. Don't ask me why, maybe it's incorrect, I'm not sure. But I feel like I'm getting a lot more done if I'm just click spamming and wearing out my click finger than if I'm just slowly and methodically going through like this. Because you still misclick when you're doing it slowly, like you can still grab the wrong end of it and it'll still create land where you wanted to take it away, or, you know, all that sort of thing. Which I think is an important thing to note, because yes, it's an improvement in a small way, as in if I want to play at this speed and at this kind of slow, precise movement that doesn't always work, but is definitely a lot smoother and slower than the original. If I want to play at that speed, then sure, that's fine. And that's definitely an improvement. But if I want to just smash away some cliffs or something like that, it takes fucking forever, and it's still a lot of clicking, and if anything, it's a step backwards because it's much less precise. And there are a few times where I was, say, clicking here, but it was doing stuff up here because it thought that I wanted to take this back instead of the bit down the bottom. And that just makes it really rough and hard to control, and, you know, part of the joy of sculpting is making something that you think looks aesthetically pleasing. And some of that has been hindered a bit by the recent changes for 2.0. And the problem extends from there, because to get the cards, if we head back in here, to get these cards, now that we've got a whole lot more stickers, so let's say we want this one, we want this double click to dig down. Sure, we've got stickers now that we can apply to anything, but you can see how little that raises it, so we're going to need a fuckload of these cloud looking stickers, which are obviously power related, to do that. Or if we come along here and we want the multiple layers, we need more cloud ones, and again, we're going to need a hell of a lot of those. I currently have one, so the amount of time that it's going to take me to get enough to get this power and to get the multiple layer power is going to be phenomenal. It's going to be a long time. We're talking maybe I need 20 odd stickers of that category just to unlock those 2 cards. And that's kind of one of the biggest problems I have with it is this power, double click to dig, and the other power of sculpting 5 layers at once. These should be early game powers. These should be ones that you get not long after you start sculpting, because yep, cool, I've got here now. I'm at the stage where I want to start sculpting big, as in many layers, and I'm hitting mountains and stuff, so I want to be able to sculpt mountains and, you know, do more kind of involved stuff. And I can't, or I'm sure I can, but the amount of effort that it takes me to do every little bit and all this kind of thing is very, very discouraging, and kind of makes me go, oh, fuck it, I couldn't be bothered. And if you're having a moment with a game where it's like, oh, fuck it, I couldn't be bothered, then there's probably something wrong. And yeah, there could be some improvements made, I think. So yeah, and the general vibe that I've read on the forums and that sort of thing is, you know, of people who've played a lot more of it than I have, is that yes, this is a consistent gripe throughout the game, is that, yep, there's a new sticker system and all that kind of thing, and it's cool because you can... No, you're not going to build anything. Go away. You. Come back here. And that's all well and good, but at the end of the day, was the old card system really that bad? And is this actually better? Because you'd need a hell of a lot of stickers to get anywhere, and you also take a long, long time to get those stickers. So it doesn't seem to be much of an improvement in that sense. And I would agree with that from my experience so far. It seems like it takes a hell of a long time to actually unlock stickers, and as much as it's nice to be able to assign them where I please, I don't have enough of them to really unlock anything that I want to unlock. And by the time I get enough to unlock it, there's other stuff that needs to be unlocked. And so it just seems like a self-killing kind of system where you're never going to unlock anything you actually want to, or you're never going to get really excited, because by the time you actually get the resources to be able to do so, it's too late and you're already onto something else which is probably needed a lot more than what you were previously doing. Like when we looked at the cards just then, at the moment I really need to advance everything and to move on and move up. I really need to unlock those farming settlements, because I need grain for those other cards, and then eventually I'm going to need to unlock those mining settlements so that I can mine some gems or ore or whatever it is that they've got in this version and move on up that way. But at the same time, for my own enjoyment, I want to unlock those sculpting powers which require resources that I don't have and which are going to take me a long time to get. So do I unlock them, or do I focus more on the others? And I know they have different requirements, but it's kind of... It leaves you feeling a bit confused and a bit more, well, I don't really know where I'm going with this, and I feel a bit frustrated that I can't just do what I want to do and move on. And so I guess that's kind of where I'm sitting at the moment with this beta, with this version. And I'm a bit in two minds about it, because it's... The longer I play it, the less I'm enjoying myself. But at the same time, I think maybe it'll get better as I go. But it definitely, so far, it started off really strong, and I was very excited. And I don't know if that was purely the novelty of after a long wait, or if it was just for whatever reason, to check out the new features and all that kind of thing. But now I'm kind of hitting the stage in the early game where I've played for a little bit longer, I've played for a few hours, I'm used to the new systems, I'm getting down with how everything works and all the changes and that sort of thing. And I'm getting a little bit disappointed because there are features that are missing that I thought would have popped up a lot sooner than they have at this stage. So, yeah. And I guess, yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say at this point. There's other stuff as well which we'll discuss in the next episode, but I don't want to just gripe on for the entire time. Having said that, though, I will, because like I'll gripe as much as I need to, because that's kind of what I'm like. You know, I still love this game. I think it's got amazing potential, and I think it's got such a wonderful art style, and the systems in it, like sculpting and that sort of thing, they're really enjoyable to me. I hesitate saying fun because they're not exactly like high action exciting, but they're definitely enjoyable to me. Hey, you got 1 second left to build. Get back there. Where are you going? Come on. And this sort of... it's very hard to kind of... precise click things in this version for some reason. Especially followers and all that. But yeah, I think I'll leave this episode around here because, hey, I've probably prattled on long enough. Now that we've got this card, what do we get? Finger of God. Beautiful. We can destroy shit. Let's do that. Let's get out some aggression and get rid of these old huts. Where's our finger? Finger of God. Bam. 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 Let's just get rid of it. Then let's get rid of these rocks. They can build. Build some new houses, please. All you builders, out you come. Is there a plot there? There is. Okay. You there. Come down here and start building that. Thank you very much. You guys can come in as well and do stuff. Yeah, I'm still not sure about this settlement mechanic. I'm not sure what the deal is with that. But that's cool. We get some better houses in there now that we've got the finger. The mighty finger. And let's plop down a settlement while we've got the chance. Settlements. Let's plop down a builder one. It'll cost us 4,000. I'm thinking of putting it here, but I think I might actually put it over this way more because... yeah. I kind of like to put it there, but I don't know if that's a complete waste of space because of all this stuff. Let's pop one right here, shall we? There we go. And let's assign some breeders. We'll do a bit of an even split like we did last time. I don't know if that's the right way to go, but hey. That's what we're doing. Oh, okay, so we've got to do it multiple times on the same house if we want the whole house. Gotcha. These buffers will make everyone happy. Builders. Build it. Builders. I mean, keep in mind as well, I'm the kind of guy who often I play more of a meta game. I'm not big into games that you have to micro heaps. So things like this, assigning people to different houses, when I have no idea what the best kind of configuration is or what kind of, what's the idea behind it, that's when I start to get a bit frustrated as well, because I kind of think, oh, I wish it would just assign it for me. At least we've got no unemployed in that area. Cool. We do have unemployed here, don't we? Yes, we do. We've got 10 unemployed. Oh, and we've actually got places that we can assign now. Oh, that's great, because we just built them, you dopey Dora. Are they all going to be assigned there? I'm guessing they are. Maybe not. Oh, yep, cool. They're good. So once these buildings have been built, we can assign other stuff to them as well. Cool. But yeah, that is where I'm going to leave it. We'll continue on with our little rant in the next episode. Well, my little rant. I shouldn't include people in stuff that is potentially annoying. But thank you so much for watching. I will continue plugging on and exploring, and we might do a bit more Voyage of Discovery next time. Now that we've got a bit more belief to play with and that sort of stuff. So we can bring in the reinforcements and all that. I can't even remember what that shrine was for now. What was it? God, oh, the finger of God. Right, gotcha. Shows how much I'm paying attention right now. But thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.